Hey guys, Insomnia here with some more AFK Arena. Today we're going to take some time and we're going to look at the two guild boss fights, Wrizz and Soren. Got a lot of comments on the feedback from 3-star and Chimera last night and how to increase the damage on Wrizz and Soren. So I'm going to go ahead and test out the theories, swap up a couple of the heroes that I have in the battle and see how I do. So let's go ahead and get into the video. So this was one of the first swaps that I did. So I actually swapped out Rain with Rowan. So we're going to see how this is going to work. This was one of my viewer comments that said, hey, Rain doesn't do that much damage. Her buff isn't that great. Even her signature item isn't that great. So go ahead and swap her from Rowan and you can actually do quite a bit more DPS with that swap. So I want to go ahead and see how well we do. I've been averaging around 250 million. Has been about the average. So hopefully quite a bit here, which, I mean, we're 33 seconds in, we're at 100 million. So it looks like might be doing pretty well in this run. Baden does so much damage with his ads, and it just seems to be kind of crazy with how much that the ads do in damage, or how much his summons do in damage. So we're just at the 200 million mark with 30 seconds left. 250, so we're definitely doing a lot better with Rowan. Even though half the team died, a lot better. One of the other comments I got was, we might even break 300 million for the first time. 298 to 298. But what is it? 302, 303, 303, 303 million damage. Holy cow, 137 million from Chimera and 80 million from Baden. That is huge. Even 40 million from Belinda. So huge numbers just making that little swap. So definitely drop Rain, add Rowan in. As you can see, 303 million damage there. So let's go ahead and look at some of the... So in this comp, I'm actually going to stick with the same team, but what I did was swapped out my gear from Rosaline onto Belinda to see if we can actually keep her alive a little bit longer. It's a pretty tough team comp gear-wise because I do have 4 casters in there and then 1 agility, which is Baden. So having gear, I have gear for 3, but I don't have gear for both. So I kind of split the gear between them, and seeing if we can actually survive this battle a little bit longer without Rowan and Belinda both going down, and seeing if we can bring the DPS a little bit higher. I feel like if both of them could stay alive, of course we do a lot more damage because she was at 41 million. Rowan's damage really isn't that substantial, but he does bring the healing potions as well. In this fight, there is big burst damage, so that's where his healing potions come in handy, as well as his ultimate ability to boost the energy of Chimera and Rosaline. So great team comp, and it looks like Belinda still died on this one. Rowan stayed up though, so I might do a little bit more damage hopefully on this one with Rowan staying alive and Belinda just actually going down. But there is always the RNG factor because we're only at 260 million with 9 seconds left. I don't think the 300 million is going to happen this time. And down goes Rowan, 290, 297 again, but the actual number here is, let's see, 298. So we did not break the 300 million mark. So unfortunately, swapping out the gear, as you can see, Belinda did a lot less damage there. Well, Rosaline did quite a bit more damage. So let's go ahead and make the final swap. A lot of people here had said actually swapping out Belinda for Chaos, which adds survivability with his life leech ability. Don't know how well it's going to do, just because with that, you have to remember I lose the 15% faction bonus on attack. So 15% less damage when she's pulling 100 million is 15 million damage. So big difference, but I want to see how well we do here. I still think we'll be around the 250 million mark, I would assume. But I know Belinda does not only bring some pretty good damage as she buffs Baden and she buffs Chimera. or sometimes she even buffs just Samir and Rosaline. So that combination together doing a lot more damage. So we're about 50 seconds in at 129 million. So I think this team comp, even though it is survivability is a lot higher because of the life leech, I think overall, even with everybody up, Chaos just isn't going to pull the damage of what Belinda is pulling. So just broke 200 million with 15 seconds left. So we probably won't even make it to 250. So it seems like that's going to be the strongest team comp, is having Shamira with Belinda, Rowan in the middle to buff either one of those. Baden, which I know Baden you can switch for a lot of different heroes. And then having Belinda for her buffs as well. So overall 244 million on that try, which Chaos did 21, which Belinda was doing 41. So definitely the other team comp has been the strongest one. But this one with Chaos is he's completely geared out with Mythic Plus gear. So only pulling 21, where Belinda wasn't fully maxed out, pulling 41. So that will sum it up for the Rizz fight. So let's take a look at Soren. Soren I haven't done as well in. Usually pulling around 100 million with him. So regular team comp, two kind of requirements that I've seen is one, having in Lucius for his shielding ability, because it does get a lot of damage later on. And then also bringing in Namora. Namora is the only true dedicated healer in my opinion. So between her signature item, all of her abilities, short of her charm ability, are healing or healing specific. And as you can see here with the overhealing, she casts a shield on everybody to kind of double up with Lucius's shield. I've ran this a couple times with different team comps. Didn't have any success. Tried it with Rowan. He's not strong enough to heal. He can't keep up with the damage. So she has been the only combination that I've seen. What I'd like to do is figure out if we can swap another tank in there or swap in somebody to actually get the 15% set bonus. So let me know in the comments what you guys are using for Soren and how well you're doing with the combination. Rosaline and Shamira have been doing awesome. They seem to pull a majority of the damage, as you can see here. But the survivability of the team comes from both the shields and then from Namora healing everybody up once they're shielded. Looks like this one we're at 126 million already. So we should get one or two more ultimates. A lot of times what happens here is, as you've seen just right there, the charm goes on all of Baden's minions, even some of the little minions he summoned. So it seems that he's really good for this fight. Him or Grezold might be really strong just because their minions get charmed, versus if you know Shamira gets charmed, she kills everybody. So here's 69 million with Shamira, almost 50 million with Baden, 26 with Rosaline, and then the other two are kind of just negligible, but 60 or 6.1 million healed from Namora. That's a pretty huge, and like I said, she's the only real true healer that I think of when I look at AFK Arena. So let's go ahead and give it another try with the same team comp. And between the shields and the heals, that it seems the only way that I can keep them up through Soren's AoE. Especially when, if you look at his tenacity on the bottom, 200, it goes up so fast. But these battles, I mean, when you're pulling 100 million, you're getting over 1 million gold per battle. So you figure 3 on Rizz, 3 on Soren, you're looking at over 6 million gold. So definitely a must. And this one doesn't seem to be going as well as the last one did. A lot of times it's just the RNG between who he's hitting or who gets charmed. A lot of the times. So half the team goes down there. Yeah, so this is not going to be anywhere near. And as you can see, when Shamira's charmed, she just stands there, does a silence, gets charmed again. Nothing. So we didn't even finish it at 110 million there. That was a pretty bad RNG run. So let's give it our last attempt here. Seems like our first on both. The first one on Rizz was over 300 million, which was the first time ever. Super excited about that. And the first run on Soren in here was the highest DPS I've ever done on him. So let's see if we can duplicate it or if we can beat it at least. Another big thing with these fights is the gear to use for enchantments and the gems. Most of them drop gem boxes regularly. So you usually pick up at least 100 or more gems from every single time that you do this guild run. So make sure you're doing Rizz every single day. Make sure you're doing Soren every other day. You can actually summon them every 2 days. As long as your guild is active, you can make sure to get these fights in. And this one's looking a little better, 126 million. I believe we'll probably do around the same, around 150. So pretty good run. 157 that time, 157 million. So a little bit higher, 4 million higher than the first one. And again, the 3 DPS. So if I had an option for a better tank than Lucius, but like I said, with his shields, it seems once you get up high enough, that's who you got to go for, because it's the only way that I can stay alive. So let me know in the comments what you guys use as your team comps. Thank you for all the comments and the feedback, and thank you for watching the video.